it can injure people if you're not communicating, as we almost saw there, and we almost saw earlier as well. So definitely a super important aspect of the game.
Dallas Goodnight be the second time up for her. And that went into left for a base hit. A one-out single for Dallas Goodnight.
That's 2 at-bats in a row where she has done her job with the sacrifice bunt last inning to move those runners into scoring position, and then getting on base and getting the Bulldogs a base runner in this 4th inning.
Now top of the order. Some speed on the bases here. Goodnight, 17 stolen bases on the season. And listen, the RBI single here in the previous inning. You know the count here to Tyler Ellison. Grounded out on a full count back in the 1st inning. So she's seen some deep counts here from Berzon this afternoon. Up the middle underneath the glove of Daniel. And Ellison with hits in back-to-back plate appearances put Dallas Goodnight at second base. 2 on here with 1 out, and that's going to bring up Lindy Ray Davis.
It's like a magnet up the middle for the Bulldogs in these past 2 innings.
How much of this is Berzon struggling here, not hitting spots? How much of this is Georgia, having seen her now all night Friday and then now today, just having her timed up?
Yeah, I mean, I don't think that we're seeing, Berzon's best stuff, right? But I think she's hitting her spot. She's doing, she's spinning the ball and she's changing her speeds. So I definitely think that this is a factor of seeing Berzon several times now. Saw her on Friday night. Didn't do bad against her on Friday night.
And we're going to have a pitching change. Pitching change here in Athens as Tatum Cotton comes out of the dugout on a 1-0 count here to Lindy Ray Davis. And a 7-2 game. We'll take a timeout with them as they reset for the pitching change. Come out of the bullpen and pitch here for LSU. 53 1/3 and a 1.77 ERA for the junior transfer from Oklahoma State. She inherits 2 on and 1 out here for Georgia.
It's funny. There's kind of a big jump in innings pitched from Berzon and Heavner to Clopton, but she still pitched a decent amount of innings this year so far, and still has a pretty good ERA. This whole pitching staff has shown clearly how good they can be.
Ellison and Goodnight both advanced there in that previous at bat. It was a wild pitch that did get charged to Berzon. Berzon inherited Davis with a 1-0 count. 3-1 the count now.
Another patient at bat for Lindy Ray Davis right there to get on.
So Jaden Goodwin for the second consecutive inning will stand in here and the opportunity to drive another run in. Goodwin sent an 0-1 pitch back up the middle for an RBI single there in the third. She came around to score as part of that 7-run third inning. 1-1 the count. As that one in there for a called strike. Bases loaded for the second straight inning. That one goes high. Berzon goes 3 1/3. 8 hits, 7 runs, all of them earned. Walked 1, struck out 4. A wild pitch. Like you mentioned, we just didn't see her best stuff today. 3-1, this one to left field. This one is off the wall. It bounces in front of Leno. Getting chased down from behind there was Dallas Goodnight. Tyler Ellison hot on her heels coming across home plate. Georgia will
even better position.
So they're at first and second with 1 out. After Goodwin drives in 2, here's Sarah Gordon, who had an RBI single in that third inning as well. In there for a strike, 2-1. Nine runs on 9 hits now for Georgia. There's Gordon ahead 3-1. And that one goes outside. The bases will be loaded once again as Gordon walks on the 3-1. Lindy Ray Davis now at third base. Goodwin at second. And Marissa Miller, who is 0 for 2. Well, she's due. She's the only Bulldog to not reach today. She looks at a strike.
I'm blown away about how many times we have seen a bases loaded situation this weekend.
Ton. Ground ball. The play is at home, and that one is behind Davis. She'll slide in safely. Trying to get in underneath is Goodwin. She'll be tagged out at home. The throw goes into the outfield, and coming on across and scoring is Gordon. LSU made a great play at home to get 1 out, but then trying to go to second, airmails it. It costs them another run.
We'll see this replay. Not a super hard hit right here. Making the choice to go home. A miscue right there within that throw. Look, Davis trying to get out of the way and then Bacheron launching it into the outfield, allowing another run to score. This is and there's been a lot of miscues today with their defense.
And I think Georgia's going to pinch run at second base here for the catcher, Marissa Miller. I don't know if Tony had, obviously wouldn't challenge that tag out at home now because you still got the run off of it there he came out of the dugout quickly here, and indeed that is what Georgia's going to do. They're going to put Emma Castori at second base to run here for the catcher, Marissa Miller. So Miller has reached now. Everybody's reached today for Georgia. So Miller is aboard on a fielder's choice and gets to second. Gordon gets to third and scores on a throwing error by the catcher. It's a 6-2 put out, a good one at home for that second out. And Lindy Ray Davis scores on a throwing error by the shortstop.
So much just happened.
Yeah.
You getting that all in your book?
Trying. It's getting sloppy. And that one hits the bat there of Mua Williams.
I know that one probably stung a little bit, but she's making that move, and it does hit the knob of the bat rather than a hit by pitch.
Behind 0-2, that one misses outside. Compton has already thrown 20 pitches here in the inning. Williams has evened it up 2-2. Swats that one away, foul. Struck out looking in the second, then the grand slam last inning. Williams held back there. A liner to first.
To run roll LSU.
Yeah.
There's been a lot of, you don't often see this weekend, but when was the last time you saw 2 run rules by 2 different teams in the same weekend in the SEC?
And you'd look at the score, from yesterday, and then LSU won Friday night, and just say, wow, LSU obviously been really good, and opportunity to get a sweep on the road in the SEC, which is hard to do, as the 2-1 is sent to right field. That one's going to sit and find the wall. Turning is Bergeron. Bergeron will slide into second with a double. And a good way to get things started here in the 5th for LSU. But you go back to Friday night. That game was tied in the 7th inning before LSU got those 2 runs to go ahead. Georgia led yesterday before LSU had the big inning offensively. LSU all over Georgia early in this game, up 2-0. You feel like maybe it's starting to kind of go away. It's been if you look at moments here, Georgia's looked really competitive at weekend moments here this weekend, and LSU's had moments where it's been a little bit inconsistent.
Yeah, I've been really impressed with the Bulldogs' resiliency throughout the weekend, because as we've talked about, we've seen moments where they have not quite hit the mark and had a few miscues, and they've now come back and have a pretty hefty lead against this LSU team. Right, in this inning, they cannot let more than 1 run score.
Yeah.
In order to
hold that 8-run
leave
lead.
this game in 5 innings.
Samaya Jones will pinch run at second base here for Bergeron. As Tori Edwards behind 0-1. And I think you take some positives out of here today to this point here if you're Georgia. Randy Rowling has not had her best stuff as this one has popped up. Digby will make the catch for the out. But you've held this LSU offense to 2 runs. You've seen what they've been capable of here this weekend. And if you're the Georgia offense that has been struggling as a young lineup to really find traction multiple times this afternoon, you've been able to string hits together past the bat. That's got to be a big confidence booster.
Absolutely, and I think we've talked about it before. When one aspect of the game is not going the way that you want it to go, for example, if you're not quite hitting your spots or spinning the ball as a pitcher, you need your offense to step it up, and they certainly have today. And vice versa, too.
We saw the bomb earlier off the bat of Moole Williams, a grand slam home run. We saw one yesterday for the Tigers. And therefore, strike, 2-1. Rudity takes a second strike. Count is 2-2. Runner at second. Ground ball to first, 2 away. Tigers down to the final out.
They do have a runner in scoring position. So if you're rolling right here, you cannot give up a home run. Because a home run scores 2, and all of a sudden you're playing more softball than you need to play this weekend.
Yeah. There's Jaden Leno. She's got a single here on the day and a ground out to the first baseman. This one into right field. Tigers will score the run. And that'll make it an 8-run lead here for Georgia. And it's 11-3. An RBI single there by Jaden Leno.
Second baseman number 23, Sierra Daniel.
Here's Sierra Daniel. She's got an RBI single and a stolen base today. Back up the middle, and that one straight to Randy Rolling, and that does it.
She's had several
Oklahoma State
back at her that she hasn't quite got
Network.
on.
See you around. Afternoon as Georgia defeats LSU 11-3 to pick up its first win of the weekend here in the series. Appreciate our entire crew bringing you the sights and sounds here from Athens this weekend. Appreciate you joining us along for the ride for another weekend of SEC softball. For our entire SEC Network crew and Mary Wilson, Caleb Brady, so long from Athens. Georgia will be back at home against Oklahoma State Wednesday on the SEC Network. We'll see you around.